Well, good evening. I'm Claire Lengro, and welcome to Lengro Late Night Live. I was trying to say it's Saturday, the 8th of May, and joining me tonight is Jack Tyler and Sam from Lengro as well. Let me just put a little sign up there as well, please. Hello, Lydia Hunt. How are you? Hello, Eileen Bathgate. Hello, Abby, as well. Let us know where in the world you are. And also, if you've joined me over from Derek Akora's page, then you're up for a little treat, but also something very different tonight as well. This is Lengro Live. Joining me tonight is the wonderful Jack Tyler. Hello, Jack. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I had a lovely massage today, so I'm nice and relaxed. And yeah.
You look relaxed. You look like you've had a night with the most beautiful man in the world, and there's a link.
There is, because I'm going to be telling you tonight who the most beautiful man in the world is.
I can't wait. Ladies, have a little guess. Who would you say is the most beautiful man in the world? We know who Sam would say is the beautiful man in the world, most beautiful man in the world. Hello, Sam.
Hello, you just got me nodding just as I'm coming on screen. Yes, we know who I think is the most beautiful man in the world.
Okay, well, we're going to get onto that in a moment as well. We're also going to find out what national day it is with you as well. And later on in the programme, we're going to be asking people for their dilemmas, and we're going to solve the dilemma with all three of us, as three heads are better than one. Let's start with you then, Sam, shall we? Let me bring up a little banner, a little brand for you. What national day is it, Sam?
Today is National Have a Coke Day. Now, we're talking Coca-Cola, not snorting anything, because the bubbles will get up your nose, so don't try it. Now, it is true, the very first Coca-Cola products contained cocaine, but only around 9 milligrams per glass. I don't care. I want my Coke just for caffeine, not hard drugs. So, you know, it is particularly bad. It was used as a substitute for alcohol, was said to cure opium addiction. Cocaine was removed from Coke in 1903, so it's fine. We are now cocaine-free. Just saying. So, when it first launched, as in Coca-Cola, it was marketed as a nerve tonic that relieves exhaustion. So I think maybe we should all be having some of this, really. And the ad that I was just about to show was published in 1886, which I can believe how long ago it was published. But yeah, it's been around forever.
So is it National Coke Day, or is it National, because like we've got Coke and we've got Pepsi. So is it National Cola Day?
National Have a Coke, as in Coca-Cola Day.
Right.
Okay.
Because I've got in my cup tonight, no alcohol involved, just vanilla Coke.
I know.
Vanilla Coke Zero if you want to get technical.
Have you been ill recently? Because you were at a party in the garden with your parents as well last week, drinking water. Are you feeling all right?
I don't know. Maybe there's just something in the air that I clearly should not be drinking.
Havana.
Now, now we all do love a Cobra Libre. Let's be honest. Nice bit of rum in there. I haven't got rum in my cup either, just for the record. There's only 2 countries in the world that do not sell Coca-Cola. One of them being Cuba and the other North Korea. Probably something to do with the mind-altering effects. Maybe from the cocaine, maybe not. Depends how long ago they just said they're not going to sell it. Who knows? But the Coca-Cola brand, now bearing in mind they have many, many other companies that they actually own now, including Sprite, Fanta, etc., etc.
Yeah.
The whole brand is estimated at $83.8 billion. So that is more than Budweiser, Subway, Pepsi, and KFC combined.
I don't think you could spend that in lifetimes. I really am. I was very interested here in what Michael says. Michael says he went to the world of Coca-Cola in Atlanta, where it came from. How was it, Michael? And did you leave on a high? I've also got this.
Yes. Now this is because in 1985, some other good things happened apart from yours truly being born. Oh no, that doesn't make me 21. I take that back. Coke was the first soft drink to ever go into space. Now those were the cans that actually did go into space because they went aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. Try saying that when you've had a drink. Yeah. So those cans were genuinely sent all the way up to the space station just so that they could say that they'd have soft drinks in space. which I was just like, okay. I'd rather have other things in space, like, you know, pizza delivery, but sure, whatever floats your boat.
Oh my goodness, I love that. So that's our national day at the moment. And Jack, you're going to be telling us Jack will be telling us about what celebrities discovered about themselves during the pandemic and revealing who the most beautiful man in the world is. But I don't think we should reveal that just now, Jack, do you?
No, because we want everybody to comment in and tell us who they think is the most beautiful man in the world. And don't forget, it's not who you fancy, it's who you think is the most beautiful man, Sam.
I just like to look at beautiful men. I don't care if it makes me a bit of a perv or whether or not I'm going to now pretend it's science. But that is clearly, we did not watch Magic Mike for the music, did we? Come on, Jack. You also know you didn't watch that for the music, and I'm glad Claire's also being honest there too.
We're not going to lie. We're not going to lie. If ever I get married again, we will be going to a Magic Mike kind of show, but that's fine. Michael says it's an amazing museum, the Coca-Cola Museum. You get to taste different flavors specific to each country. Can I admit, I'm not really a Coca-Cola fan. It makes my teeth feel a bit like when you have Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's got that kind of like gratey feeling on. So Coca-Cola would be a rare thing for me to drink, I must admit.
I don't like any fizzy drinks at all, but if I had to pick one, it would be Coke.
Really?
Not even with alcohol, Jack. Come on, be honest. No sparkling drink without booze. Really?
No, I don't ruin any drinks putting like fizzy stuff in it. No.
A couple of things I want to interrupt and say. Chrissy Wheatley, sending lots of love to you. You have to do your son's medication.
Oh,
what
hi, Chrissy.
amazing mum you are. And she's been page hopping with us as well. Got a little something to say to this one as well. Samantha Norcup, our social media manager as well. Let's just have a little look. Okay. Happy birthday, her other half, Chris. It's his birthday today. He is our tech wizard. So guys, could you please comment in and wish Sammy's husband a very happy birthday this evening? Please, please do. There you go. Let's have a little look. What do you get? What do you get for the man who's got everything? He's got 2 amazing kids and he's got Sammy as his wife. Absolutely. You know, really.
You allow him to go to Florida. That's what we need to allow him to do. Boris needs to open up the borders so they can finally get to Disney, because they've been waiting to go for a year now.
Exactly. But lots of happy birthdays coming in there. Leslie likes it with vodka and Bacardi. Sonia likes it with Dandelion and Burdett, and Leslie prefers Pepsi Max as well.
You know what's really good with Coke as well? If you pour it down your sink, you know, if you like lid it in your sink for a little while, it makes your sink nice and shiny as well.
And also you can leave it down the toilet, and apparently it does make the toilet, not for very long, but apparently if you leave it for 20 minutes and then flush it away, it makes the bowl sparkly. So I don't want to think about what it's actually doing to me. But it tastes very nice, so
it's making you sparkly.
Yeah, that's obviously what it is. It's not the fact that my teeth are naturally white. It's all the Coke that I drink. That's obviously what it is.
It is. It's move over, Mrs. Hinch. Just pour some Coke down your loo, isn't it? Listen, Michael is quite a newbie, but he's also joined the club. If you haven't joined my private members club, do get on over, because I'm there nearly every day of the week, actually. And Michael Crowther says, Aquaman the hottest. But listen, you two are 2 of the leading ladies from our film club. I wouldn't say that's the hottest film, would you?
Do you know what? I haven't even watched it.
I wouldn't. Guys, would you recommend that? No. I think I fell asleep during that. I really, really do. Let's keep going. Nigel Porter, you weren't having a good week last week. Let's hope you're having a better week this week either. Sammy's husband said, yes, you're right as well. And Frankie Payne as well. Your pack of tarot cards, the Claire Petchalengo tarot cards, were sent off today, darling. And the lady at the post office who was sent first class said they should arrive Tuesday. And they've got a little gift in there for you as well. Can I just also say thank you to the lady? Let's have a little look. Can I say thank you to the lady who bought a reading for Mark? So Mark, if you are watching tonight, you have been paid. Somebody has paid for a 10-minute taster reading for you. You were struggling when I was last live, but I'm going to make that up to half an hour for you, my darling. So please do contact us, and I would love to talk to you, to give you some help and to support you as well. Yeah, we're going to be doing it.
That is a lovely thing to do.
We've got some amazing followers, Sam. I mean, they just absolutely take my breath away. They really do. Really do. Absolutely amazing. So listen, let's have a little look. I've got some pictures to bring up. We're not going to do it yet. I still want to know who do you think is the most beautiful man in the world? Come on, come forward and tell us who the most beautiful man in the world is to you.
Well, I did see a comment at the side here, and it was Michael again. He said he's not watched Aquaman, but it's Jason Momoa, which is actually the guy who plays him. He is literally, he almost looks, I was going to say, if you've not watched Moana, it's no good me telling you that. But he kind of looks like Maui off of there, that's The Rock. But he is a very good looking man. We'll put it that way.
Are we going beautiful as in looks beautiful, or are we going for beautiful?
Yes, this is scientifically beautiful. What makes a man like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
It's scientific curving.
Yeah.
And I was appreciative of that subject earlier, Jack.
Well, do you know what might help us all is coming up on Tuesday, we have a new moon in Taurus, which is in your sign, Sam. It's really good for Taurians, really good for Scorpios, but most of all, new moons are good for us all. They give us fresh intuition, fresh inspiration as well. Before that time, guys, let me tell you, at the moment, today, the planet Venus meets Taurus square to Jupiter in Aquarius. Don't worry if you don't know what that means. It means that we've all been tempted to overspend today. Jack and Sam and the rest of you, have you overspent today?
I haven't spent anything today.
Oh, I need to leave. Obviously, if you're going to ask me questions about my spending.
Shine the spotlight on you.
No, 100%. I am guilty of overspending this week, because for anyone that's seen any of Laura's lives, when she was live on Tuesday, she was showing these lovely things, which I happen to have in here, just here, these lovely selenite moons that was being sold. So I did go on there and have a little spend on her shop. And then the following day, I had a little spend on Leslie's shop as well. So, yeah, I can't talk about spending money at the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that one. We'll move along. Listen, Sonia would like to know, how is it good for a Scorpio? Because a Scorpio is polar opposite to Taurians, and it will affect you in a good way as well. Venus also enters Gemini today until June the 2nd. It means that we're all getting more curious. Together with Mercury, people that we meet at the moment, okay, in the days ahead, become obsessed. We become obsessed with them. Anybody that we meet that's in our heart at the moment is going to really mean something to our future. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay in our lives, but people are really going to affect us between now and Tuesday, according to the stars. So if you've met somebody that's good for you, hang on to them. If you've met somebody that's bad for you, learn the lesson and move on, okay?
Is that between now and Tuesday?
That's between now and Tuesday. That's not to do with the new moon. And I will get to you, Abby. Just hang on, because we are going to do some readings in a little bit. But first of all, we're going to find out a little bit about the planets for everybody. So because of Venus entering Gemini until June the 2nd, there's a curiosity that we've all got. And with Mercury adding to the mix, people that we meet at the moment will become an obsession. But as we all know, we can have good obsessions and bad obsessions, can't we?
Yeah.
I want to know as well, as we come out of lockdown, how are you all feeling? We've all coming out of lockdown in a different way. I had to go into town today with my daughter, and I must admit, at times I felt it overwhelming, mostly as to how much you can spend in 1 hour once you get a Pearls and you get a coffee, and they want to buy some whatever sweets it is. And I wonder how you're all doing and what your star sign is. So if you'd like to comment how you're coping out in lockdown, but most of all, because I've got today's lineup with the planets, I'd like to know how today was for you, and also what star sign you are as well. Now we're going to keep the guessing going a little bit more, but Natalie Pennycock says Gerard Butler.
Oh yes.
I do know someone on the screen that does like a bit of Gerard Butler, don't you, Jack?
Yes, I do like a bit of Gerard Butler.
Sonia loved James Stewart right there, and of course for our Leslie, it's Paul Hollywood.
Oh,
is that because he can cook though? Just saying. I mean, think of all the cakes he could be baking.
Exactly. And also Chrissy Wheatley says it was George Michael for me.
Yeah, he was my first crush, I think, as well. I did love George Michael.
and you know what, we talk about people being beautiful inside and out, and I think people didn't find out until after his death, but there was so much good charity work that George Michael did behind the scenes as well, wasn't there? Absolutely amazing man as well. So Leah Sterling, you're saying you've had a relatively good day. Relatively good day is better than a bad day, isn't it? And we've got Joanne Ripper, who's still waiting for Mr. Right. But that's good, because it means if there's not someone bad in your life at the moment, you're not going to hang on to them. I don't want you hanging on to people that are no good for you. And that could be one of the dangers as well. Oh, Eileen. Jason Donovan. You know, I did go and see him in concert just before lockdown as well. And I'm very embarrassed to say I fell asleep during his concert. I know. I was waiting for like some of his main songs, but I'd been working really hard and I was really, really tired. So I'm really ashamed to say that. I don't often fall asleep during anything, but I do like Jason Donovan.
Do you know, in his defense, I would say he's very, very good at 80s Rewind at the festival. Jason Donovan's always very good there, as well as Rick Astley. He's also another good one every single time.
He looks exactly the same, Rick Astley. He just doesn't change, does he?
I think
there's so many people that don't seem to age that are celebrities at the moment. I'd love to know if they've actually found the fountain of youth during lockdown and they've just not told us. I mean, is that one of your things, Jack? Is that what you're going to tell us?
Well, the celebrities, they have been discovering lots of things about themselves. That might be one of them.
Well, okay. You know what, Jack, I know you're coming down to Brighton soon, and we're going to be doing the Brighton Ghost Walk and filming it for the next paranormal program, aren't we? Jenny Joy, who floats your boat? Stuart Granger as well. Too many guys for Kelly Elizabeth to mention that she'd been here all night. Listen, lots of you wanting readings at in just a moment, then I will pick some people for some readings as well. Sonia Timmington says, had a day of anxiety, but I went for a walk in the rain and that helped a lot. And Frankie Payne, I love what she says. Can you read that for me, Sam, please?
Every day is a blessing. With every negative thought, I also think 2 positives, which absolutely 100% I agree with that.
Yeah.
The whole point is to be grateful, even if you don't think that you have anything. As long as you've got a roof over your head, you've got food in the fridge, and you're nice and warm. What else do you need? You've got fresh running water. What else do you honestly need?
Yeah.
Well, I need to pervert these men that we're talking about, but apart from that, I don't really need anything else.
Now, listen, because you've got the lovely Lengro ladies here as well, do put your problem that you've got, because I'm going to turn a card for you, but I want these ladies to give you their advice as well if they decide to chip in. They may not decide to, or they may need to, but actually I may need to change my favorite, most beautiful man, because Sharon Stevenson's just reminded me of something which is, oh, yes.
No. Oh, no.
You will never tread on each other's toes in love, and that is why you're my best friend. You know? Your taste in men and mine is so different. That's what.
Yeah, we won't be fighting when we go out. Definitely not.
Absolutely love that. Well, listen, you have made it clear, as Lengro viewers only can, that you would like us to go into some readings tonight. So I'm going to keep my lovely Lengro family here with me tonight. And I know that there was somebody who kept commenting and kept worrying. So let me get to some of you. Jason John was on tour again. I should go just to stay awake so I don't offend him, shouldn't I, really? Let's have a little look.
After hearing that, it might pull you up on stage, Claire. I personally would write to him just to suggest that. Sorry, I would 100% now. After
we could get him on for a live. We could interview him as well.
Yeah, and just say, what exactly do you love about your show?
Look, I can't wrap my tarot cards in it. This is to wear as a headscarf, but this is what I bought on my adventures today. A beautiful silk scarf with some astrology and stars on it as well. So I've got my tarot cards, guys. You've made it clear what you want. If you could please put a dilemma that you've got as well, we would like to have a little look and just see what's ahead for you as well. So the Hierophant card is what I've picked for you, Abby. All right, I'm going to take you off there for a moment so we can see Sam's beautiful face. The Hierophant card is somebody who's a little bit like the Hermit, but is also somebody that needs to address what's happening. And for you, this card shows me very clearly that you're looking at problems that aren't the real problem that you're dealing with, but in actual fact, you're keeping yourself busy on other things. Could I please ask you to take a step back, my darling, and stop filling your time with things that don't matter and stop ignoring what the real issue is? And I feel there's not one person, but there's 2 people in your life who are being really disruptive to you at the moment and not helping you. So for me, it's about you getting a clearer idea of who you want to be. And sometimes in life, I don't know about you ladies, but being our true selves is a very difficult thing to be. Now, we've got to know each other over a period of time. And I think on the lives, I can be more myself with you guys on Lengro Lives, because sometimes it just feels like I'm talking to you off camera. But very often, as we come out of lockdown, and this will apply to many of you out there as well, how are you doing with being yourself when you go to a friend's garden, or when you go to an outside beer garden, or when you go to a shopping centre? Have you found it hard to remember who you were and how you want to be? I think we're relearning, don't you, ladies?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Well,
so
I think the thing that we need to remember is, just because we were that person before, a lot's happened in the last year and a half. You know, you don't have to bring everything back with you. Bring the new you out.
yeah,
You know, I think a lot of people have discovered a lot of stuff about themselves
yeah,
during lockdown, as we
yeah.
will find out later with Jack and her celebrities that we know she keeps in her pocket, really.
We are going to get to that. We really are. Abby, you asked me how things will turn out. Your reading very clearly tells me you've got fake information. So you need to go and find the facts. Could I ask you as well, are you getting your information from a third party, and have you gone to the real source that you need to get? Now, that could be in terms of you having to go to an official organization to find out news. But I feel that people are telling you certain things to keep you in a certain place. So Abby, do some investigating, and when I'm back here next week, let me know what you find out. I think there's more information for you to find out, my darling. Okay, so let's have a little look. I was told that somebody had kept messaging. That's
Can I
Abby.
just say, I was just going to say, Lydia Hunt, I was just going to read that out, that she hates going shopping at the moment but feels scared. I think that's natural, because we haven't done it for such a long time. When the shops first opened, you know, I think we felt like, oh my God, we need to go out because the shops are open. And I didn't go because I thought, well, I don't really need to go. I'm just going to go if I really need to, because I was a bit, I don't know if I was scared. I was a bit nervous, you know, about going. I think once you start doing it, it's not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
So go to the shops, go with your mask on, so you feel safe, but do it, and you'll feel better afterwards. Only go if you need to go. Don't go for no reason.
Yeah.
You know.
I put us this way because I kept covering Sam's face. But Sam, could you now don't put gemstones under your bum, but could you put some cushions under your bum?
And I'll move the there we go. I'll move the camera / sit up straight. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, it looks like you have decided where the course of this night's going to go. It's a little bit like those books, isn't it? Do you remember those books when you were a kid, and you can decide when you turn a page whether you walk through the door and turn to page 64, or whether you actually don't walk through the door and decide to whatever, and then you turn to a different page number. And you viewers have made it very clear what you want right now. So Lydia, I'm going to turn a card for you, but first of all, I would also like the ladies to address when Lydia says, I hate going shopping at the moment, but I feel scared. What's your advice about that while I shuffle the cards, ladies?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Just only go if you need to go. Yeah. You weren't listening, were you, Claire?
I was concentrating on the forwards, that. It's called Care and Love. TLC.
So I was telling Lydia that not to go for the sake of it, but once she starts going, once you've gone once, it'll get easier and easier. Just make sure you're protected with your mask so you feel safe, and then you'll soon get back into it. It's just like anything in life, you know, when you stop doing things for a while, it's like if you fall off a bike, you know, not that I can ride a bike, but that's what they say, get back on, you know.
Let's take a different example then, shall we, Jack?
Sorry. I've got to say, I do really like Lydia's comment that she put just above that one about the feeling a little bit scared of going shopping. Yeah. And she was saying about her ideal man. Let me just see if I can find it. Because obviously we've been saying about beautiful men, and you know, it's not necessarily what's on the outside, it's on the inside. Oh, yeah. And she's put, my husband, because every time I have a nightmare, he's always cuddles me and make me feel better. I had a miscarriage last month and he keeps picking me up. Well, those are the things that genuinely make a difference, aren't they? It's not just about being gorgeous on the outside, although we all know I like to perv. But sometimes it does, well, that's not sometimes, all the time it matters what's on the inside. Ignore that.
Now, listen, I just wanted to say this very quickly as well. Abby, you're still asking, I just did your reading. You're saying it's love and I'm a bit lost on it. Do I take the plunge if offered? Abby, you need to find out more about this man first. You're nervous about him, but to take the plunge when you don't feel that he knows the real you or you know the real him, you need to get a little bit more information, gather that information before you class yourself as in a relationship or taking that next step where you kind of give yourself to somebody, okay? So Lydia, for you, you say, I hate going shopping at the moment and I feel scared, but the King of Wands shows that actually the people around you at the moment don't give you the confidence that you need. And actually what you need, Lydia, is to equip yourself and give yourself the tools you need to build up little bits of security and confidence within yourself. Lydia, I'm looking at this card with a wand, which relates to work. And I don't know whether you don't work or not, but what this card says to me is that maybe you need to build a better base for yourself by building a base outside the family. I'm not saying leave the family. What I'm saying is do things to build Lydia up as a person within her own right. I see that you've got a baby there, but in life, we're not just a mum, we're not just a wife, we're also our own individual person. What is Lydia like doing? Okay, ask yourself that and feel free to reply and we'll come back to you. Abby, you say you know him. I'm sorry, you like bluntness on Lengro Lives and on my page. I don't know if you know him, okay? What is stopping you from taking the plunge? Be honest. Tell us what's stopping you. Let's take this further. Let the followers advise you as well, okay?
I'd say go with your gut every single time. If there's something holding you back, there's a reason you're being held back.
I think Abby's gut is telling her to be wary. Okay.
And there's always a reason for that.
Abby, come on, darling. I love you very much. No.
Yeah, I was going to say there's always like red flags, and sometimes we ignore those red flags, don't we? Because we want to see the best in these we want them to be how we want them to be, so we ignore the red flags. But the red flags are out there, and you'll get hurt in the end if you don't, take heed.
With all of the women and even the friends that I've had, and they have these incredible affairs with people, or they've gone away for a wild weekend, those 2 or 3 days or that one night of passion is such an amazing high, isn't it? But do you know what? The shitstorm that follows afterwards is the biggest downer, 10 times worse, that will cause you more pain. Abby, you tell him you want me, you go become single as well. Also, if you get with him when he's got a girlfriend and you then end up married with children and he's late home from work one night, you are going to be in knots. You're going to kill yourself worrying about what sorry, I don't mean that in that term. You're going to worry yourself senseless about what he's up to. So my feeling is, if this man is looking elsewhere, then you need a man with dignity and respect, because I can see that you're a nice woman and I can see that you want marriage, you want children. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Okay. Frankie agrees with me. Thank you. I knew there was something in there going on. Sorry, I did. Frankie, let's all get involved. Don't wait for him to leave his girlfriend. Isn't she a beautiful girl? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Abby, no, with love. Kim Gary.
Why would you want to be anyone's second choice?
Karma will always find you as well. And also, would you want to be that girl? Would you want to be that woman? No, you wouldn't. Women stand together, says Frankie Payne. Jack, can you read this one out for me while I drink coffee, please?
Abby, I'd stay away. Then you're worth more than a man who is already in a relationship. Please stay away. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah, definitely.
They've got a male point of view there as well. Michael's also come back.
Come on, Michael. Where are you? Come on, Michael. Look, Gracie says he could do the same to you. Leslie's saying,
what Michael's saying. He's saying he's doing it to his current girlfriend. He will do it to you too. That's the thing. The only person that's going to get hurt in the end of it is you. It doesn't matter whether or not,
and the girlfriend.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah, 100%. But he obviously is still with this person for whatever reason. So even if he's just dangling you on the end of the string, you will be the one that ends up getting hurt, because he will just decide which way he wants to go, and you're no one's second choice. Every woman should know that.
She's not missing him. She's missing what a relationship represents. I see your face, Abby. You want intimacy. You want someone to hold your hand, that glimmer of affection that he gives you. Right now, Abby, he's not.
Abby says she was with him first. She's just commented.
So we're going double whammy. There's more hurt on top of more hurt, more rejection. It's a really a tough one. It really, really is, isn't it? But Abby, I think that you look, Frankie Payne again. Own your worth. Keep your.
I'd like to. I don't know about anyone else, but I would like to go for a drink with Frankie Payne because everything she's saying, I'm completely agreeing with. But 100%. Yeah, Laura last night, she did. I don't know if anybody watching at the moment was part of it, but she's doing the Go F Yourself, Find Yourself masterclass at the moment, and she did a beautiful cord cutting ceremony during
I've done
the
that
masterclass last night, and it's all about cutting off the negativity. So I personally would recommend getting in touch with Laura just to do the cord cutting ceremony, because then the only thing that's coming towards you is positivity with him. There's not any more of this negativity or hurt coming back to you. Okay, and that's the point, you know, you don't want to be anybody's doormat, as Lydia says there, but it's just you've got to take care of yourself.
This is who we'd like you to contact, if that's okay, my darling. This is Laura Ann. She's the designer of the Claire Petchalengo tarot cards. She did the wonderful artwork, but more than that, she does would you like to say the name of the course?
She does a Go F Yourself. It's find yourself, okay? Don't get too concerned. It is find yourself. Cool.
So just write down the spelling of that and please do contact her. We're not here saying that you're a fool. Many of us have been there in that same situation. What we're saying is you are worth more than that. It's his loss. Exactly. Chrissy Wheatley says, if he isn't happy with his girlfriend, he doesn't deserve anyone. He deserves to be single on his own. Do you think, Abby, that you are perhaps thinking of the relationship and what it means to be in a relationship, of having that person to call, having that person to pick things up for when you go and see them, that whole sort of thing as well? Frankie Payne says yes, by the way. She'd love to go for a drink with you ladies. I don't know what towns we're in when we're doing things, but we will put some notifications up on here to say what towns we're in.
Where are you, Frankie?
Yeah. Do you remember? She reminds me of that song by Sister Sledge.
Frankie.
Yeah. We're too old, Jack. No one else knows that.
No, I know the song. I may only be 21, but I know the song.
Abby Lewis Joyce says, how much is it for Laura?
For Laura, if you contact Laura, don't worry. She, as you are a Lengro follower, she will do you some sort of deal. Don't worry about that.
Let's have a little look. So let's go on. Look, we are all over the UK, says Sammy as well. We are ready. She's our social media manager. Ask Sammy. She knows absolutely everything. Okay, so I think it's time. I think we should answer another question as well. Michael's on our side. I wish
we all remember the song.
Song, don't we? I can't even think. Was it Sister Sledge?
No. No, I don't think so.
It was Frankie, do you remember?
Yeah.
Anyway. I wonder if that's where. Oh, look! I wonder if that's where the name came from as well. She's in Kent. She's close to us. In fact, one of the reality TV shows, the kind of like Only Way Is Something. There's a dress shop I'm supposed to be visiting that's offered me some clothes that's in Kent as well. And of course, I'm in East Sussex as well. And the ladies are coming down here next month. And you're coming down later this month, aren't you? So there'll be plenty of dates as well. I think that we owe Frankie a card for that as well. Frankie, do you have a question for the ladies? Let them solve a dilemma as well. And Nigel, we need to check up on your dad as well, don't we? So give the ladies a question. And you're now the same height. That's good, Sam. Look.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting up straight. That's the difference. If I sit down or like put my feet up, I tend to shrink a little bit.
Sister Sledge.
What's it, Sister Sledge?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask my friend Google, aren't I?
I would like to know if Frankie's got a stainless steel water bottle filled with rose quartz that's been sent off, all packaged. I think it's been sent off yet, Leslie. Should be posted on Monday, and your tarot cards arrive on Tuesday that you've bought as well. I've got a card for you, and I'm going to read your card. But do you have a dilemma, Frankie, to ask the ladies? Let me tell you. So, Frankie, the card that I've drawn for you is the Six of Swords, and it means that since you have started watching the lives, the timing is over the last 10 days, 2 weeks, you have changed. You have started work. I'm in the middle of the live.
Okay,
Honey, come on in. You'll do your dilemma.
Just shows we're live.
I do not know. All I know is apparently they're having a part. Yes, darling.
So basically, I just walked into my bedroom. The neighbours' music is so loud, and I'm really angry.
But the neighbours' music is very loud. What do you think Honey should do about that, since we've just moved into a new place? Do you think we should fall out with the neighbours? Maybe they're really, really rough and they're really going to like make our life hell. I would say leave it till they're alive, yeah, so Mum can.
Put headphones in, you'll be absolutely fine. Listen to what you want to listen to. That's what I do when my parents are playing their music. I don't have to hear it then. Pop your headphones in, listen to what you want to listen to. That sounded particularly wrong, but I just meant music-wise, for the record, when I don't want to listen to their music. God, I hope so anyway.
Frankie, I was working on you, and I'm so sorry. Frankie, have you felt a change in yourself within the last 10 days to 2 weeks? Okay. The card that I've got for you shows that you're really loving working on yourself, but at the same time, it feels a bit odd. So you've reached a stage of your life now, Frankie, where for the first time in your life, you're thinking, oh, I'm being me, but it's a me that not always everybody has accepted, but you like the feeling. What I see with this card for you is you've got to keep doing it. So over the course of the next few days and weeks, there'll be times where you think you want to revert to the Frankie who's a people pleaser. But look at you, you're beautiful, you're independent, you're individual. But I know as a clairvoyant, you've always been a part of other groups, other people, or a couple. And I think for all the work you've done in yourself now, the danger signal, the massive danger signal, is for you to step back now that you've stepped forward. So don't stop being a solo artist, but make sure you find people who can complement you and don't stop changing you. It's also very much a spiritual journey, but if you keep on the path you're on, you're moving on to calmer waters as well. Really, really like that. She says yes as well. Yeah, what are kids like as well? Make friends with them, indeed. Well, upstairs are absolutely lovely. We're in a flat in central Brighton. It's actually next door, who I know are students. And I must tell you a very quick, funny story, which is, hold on, let me just bring Frankie's yes up. So I'm sitting in the garden, and I finished all my dailies for July, and I've got half an hour before the kids come back from school. So I haven't bought my garden furniture yet. So I get a pillow, a cushion. I'm sitting out in the back garden. 2 houses along, the young guys come out and they say, hello, what's your name? Have you just moved in? So I have a chat with them and I say, God, next door, my daughter keeps complaining because she can hear their music through the walls. It's not the music it's not the noise we mind. It's the fact that they keep playing the same album. Don't they like any other artist? So then I go back in the house, and as I come out, the guy that was 2 houses along is sitting in the next door's garden, and they're all mates. And they're all
he's listening to the awful music.
But that night, he did play a different album, and Lucy really liked it. So things are okay, we think.
Hey, we've all been there. There is a man that's currently in the kitchen that's just about to make himself a cup of tea, it looks like, who does the same with just one album all the time, and it drives me insane. But that's what headphones are for. So it's fine.
Well, Carmen Ingram says, live in a field like me, no neighbours.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what? I've always been a city girl who lived by the sea. I spent a lot of in my early 20s, I lived in New York City. Noise does not bother me in the least. And we moved from a 5-bedroom townhouse that was also on the other side, but in central Brighton. And even though we had this amazing house, there's always neighbours around, and there's always people around. And people are entitled to live their life and have good fun. And that's what these guys are doing on a Saturday night. They're house sharing, going to university, and I think Honey just wants to be a part of the party. That's what she's like.
That'll be her in a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will
get some noise cancelling headphones. It's not going to be the expensive ones, but just ones that's just over her head, won't cause any damage to her hearing, and she'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Is Dad making a cup of tea? Hello,
yeah,
Dad.
Kettle's finished, so he's finished now.
I
think he's got his head in the fridge.
Has he? Has he indeed?
I don't know. No, I haven't.
Can I show you guys something? Because I wanted to bring something up quickly. Now, we talk about noise. We talk about living in a city. And I'm somebody who's very, very interested in trees. I don't know if you're aware of this. I love trees. Trees, nature, grounding, gives me real peace. So I have a follower called Dominique Leyden, and she tends to send me things in from time to time. And today she sent me this incredible picture. Let me just find it now. Hold on one second. Look at this tree.
Oh,
See that? So this is the spirit of the forest. It's the Green Man at Montreal Botanical Gardens in Canada. Absolutely lovely. And the craziest tree in the world is this one. Hold on, let's have a look. This is a
It's Jack.
This is the craziest tree in the world. It's a dragon blood tree in Skutra Island in Yemen as well. We were talking about going out today and going out after lockdown. And I know that we've all been looking for our high heels, or Honey's been looking at makeup that she wants to put on. But I think sometimes what lockdown should have taught us is that nature's the most beautiful thing. So next time you think about how high your heels can be, then let's look to nature. Just look at this bird going back to nature, strutting its stuff. And when you think about putting makeup on, go back to your bare basics, because look at the colours.
Look at those lashes. I mean,
and of nature. And I did discuss this woman. Let me show you her very, very quickly again. This lady here, she was called very quickly a witch by absolutely everybody. In actual fact, she was a Polish biologist, ecologist, author, PhD in forestry. She was called a witch. She was a very clever woman indeed. And she said she preferred animals and living in nature to being with human beings. And there's one more picture I want to show you as well, which is also a tree, believe it or not. And if you look at this picture of this tree, hold on one second. I want you to see this, guys. Perhaps one of the most incredible sculptures in the world, created by an unknown French sculptor in the 19th century. This beauty is stored in the Indian Museum. Can you notice anything about it? Well, it's
different ones.
It's called the double statue of Mephistopheles and Margarita. The fact is that on one side of the statue, there's a male figure, on the other, a female one. There's a large mirror behind the sculpture so that you can see both figures and appreciate the skill. It's created from a single piece of the oldest sycamore tree. So that's kind of going back to the bare crux.
And if you can't tell the difference, one's got a beard and one hasn't. And if you can't tell the difference in that, you may need glasses.
I don't know. I did find a couple of hairs the other night, Sam. Let's have a little look. Stunning trees, says Sam. What are you doing? What you should be partying there with Chris. You really should. Absolutely love it. I really do. So there's
she might have a nice beverage in her hand as she's typing.
Yeah.
To judge.
I think she falls asleep with her. Well, she doesn't sleep. Did you know that? Sammy Norcup does not sleep. So Lydia says, I live in a flat. I have lived in a flat, but thankfully that is music that you can't hear anymore. I'm so used to noise. I don't hear anything, actually. Lydia Hunt says she can hear absolutely everything. And Shazia, you say, is there anything for me? I'm going to draw you a card, but could you please ask a dilemma for the ladies? How can we all and our followers make your life better tonight as well? One of the questions we've asked as well is, have you discovered anything surprising about yourself in lockdown? Let's have a little
look.
What
about Nigel Porter? He's still waiting for a reading. I forgot about you. Sorry, Nigel.
I didn't
Just
forget about
you. Said that we were going to do a reading for you right at the beginning.
Can you read while I wait for? Oh, look, there's Dominique Lydon, and she's the one, the lovely lady who sent me those pictures. So Dominique, keep sending in the tree pictures. You know that I love them. While I'm drawing Shazia a card, could you please, one of you two, read Chrissy Wheatley's comment as well, please?
You sound posher than I do, Jack.
I live in a lovely town in Bedfordshire, but my neighbour moans if my son plays his music at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And reportedly, but he loves his music because it calms him down. But I have always brought him up to listen to music. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Reporting you.
It's not like it's in quiet hour. I mean, one of the things I loved about living in Germany is after 10 p.m. or between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. were quiet times. Yeah. So you didn't have loud music and parties or anything that was going on outside because you could report them to the police. But 2 o'clock in the afternoon, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you have to
be listening to.
Yeah, you have to take things into consideration. I mean, I've got a neighbour who's got babies that cry. I've got 3 dogs that bark. You know, you've got to all live your life, haven't you? So,
You have to. Can I just
report people?
Shazia, it's also not illegal to play music at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It really isn't. Can I just say, I've drawn for you, Shazia, the 2 of Swords here, and it shows that you're going to have success if you can admit to your family or those around you closest to you what it is that you want to do next. As you can see, the lady may well have been blindfolded because her what do you call it? Her hood of her garment is over her eyes. So this shows that you're not quite sure of what needs to happen for you next in your life, but perhaps it could be a step away from family and commitments that have been a long-term responsibility for you. It's a really exciting card because it also shows progress in the things that you love. You haven't asked a question, Shazia, but let's have a little look. You do say that music solves everything. So that's the card for you. Follow the things you love. Before I come to you, Nigel, I've got a really important message for the lovely Mark Thomas. Now, Mark, you say thank you very much for the other night. Can I just say thank you so much for opening up and sharing your story with us as well. Now, I don't know if the lady who bought your reading would like to say. I know that she's on here. Please do step forward. But she has bought you what we call a taster reading with me, and I'm going to extend that to half an hour as well. Mark, if you can inbox me, you will have time with me with any day next week. Okay, I want your birth chart. I'm going to do your tarot cards. I'm going to do the crystal ball for you. And I would love to do a reading to help you with the next phase of your life. You're a very, very brave man. I take my hat off to you, and you're not alone anymore, Mark. Okay, so make sure that you inbox me. And when I finish the live tonight, I'll get straight on my calendar. And when you can do next week, you're going to be booked in and taken care of Lengro style as well. I'm also going to send you some gemstones as well to support you. And Mark, you're an amazing man and you're very brave. I'm very proud of you, and your future is waiting as well. Okay. Absolutely huge love to you, my darling. Let's have a little look. Let's keep going. Donna Kelso, do you have a problem? Do you have a dilemma? Oh, she's a first timer. Should we be gentle with her?
I don't know. I don't think we know how to do gentle, do we?
No, I don't. I'm getting to the end of the 3 hours of lives, which I absolutely love doing. So the what do you call it? The subtlety is not present. It really
we're
is.
after the watershed, so unfortunately, you know, it tends to go downhill the later we go.
Shazia Majid, you asked, your question was, will you meet somebody new? So my answer to that with the 2 of Swords I picked for you is yes, but they may not meet with your family's approval, but you must go forward with your heart anyway. Okay, that's what you need to do. So having a look at for you, Donna Kelso, you haven't asked a question, but I'd love it if you'd ask one of the Lengro ladies as well. For you, it shows that things have been left a little bit sloppy as you've come out of lockdown. I did say about the aspects astrologically earlier on, didn't I? And for finances, Venus entered Gemini and joining Mercury into the mix as well. Overspending with Venus meeting Jupiter, meeting Taurus square to Jupiter. So you could be one of the ones who financially hasn't been careful, my darling. What I want you to do is get your finances in order, Donna. I want you to do an incoming and outgoing sheet, and I want you to plan for the things that you want. There's desires for you, Donna, but I don't feel there's any organization. And sometimes that can really be our own fault. So if there's something that you want, you have to have common sense added to the mix. To make your plans come true, don't expect them just to land that way, but plan, and then success can be yours as well. Can I just say, Shazia said, hold on, Shazia said, oh, I know what you mean. So if there is somebody who's very different from you, and the feeling I get is, you know, I'm a Romany gypsy, and my mother was a Romany gypsy who had to marry out the race to my father, and that was very difficult to the extent that she eloped, rang my grandmother up and said, I've just got married, would you like to come and meet my husband? And it was a very, very difficult thing for my mum to do. And in the end, when I was growing up, my grandmother used to ring our home phone and say to my mother, don't want to talk to you, put Johnny on. And her and my father, my grandmother and my father were very, very close indeed. But we're running out of time, so we've got to move on, girls. Let's move on at the subject that you have about the most beautiful man in the world, please, Jack.
Okay.
Yes, we need to know who is the most beautiful man according to science.
Okay. So according to science, the most beautiful man in the world
Oh, bring
is.
it up. Hold on. Let's have a look. Hold on.
Drum roll,
Do we need
please.
a drum roll?
Yeah.
How long's the drum
Okay.
roll got going for? Okay,
Got
okay.
it? Got it?
Yeah.
Robert
Really?
Pattinson from
No.
Twilight.
Somewhere else.
Now, the reason is because it's the Golden Russian, which is a Greek mathematical method, created the idea of the perfect man based on facial proportions. And the Twilight star is 92.15% perfect. So he's got perfect features. That's like
Okay, but he also
everything in
doesn't wash his
proportion.
hair and he doesn't use deodorant. So for me, obviously, I'm clearly too fussy because those are just a couple of things that I do prefer a man to do.
Sorry, did
Well, in
you
second place was Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, Superman.
And then in third place was Bradley Cooper.
He
And
is a
in fourth
pretty man.
place was Brad Pitt.
I thought he'd be higher, in all honesty. I did think Brad Pitt would be higher up on the list.
Well, are you surprised, ladies, that Robert Pattinson was the most beautiful man in the world? Let's bring up who you chose. Okay, I did love the film Benjamin Button. I used to call her Honey because she looked like an old man when she was born. Benjamin Button. Benji was her name when she was a baby. And look, she looks like she's gone backwards. She's the most beautiful child in the world. But I did indeed. I picked Brad Pitt. I did. Sammy, let's go on to you.
Yeah, I wonder who mine was.
Oh.
See, you just had the dog in as well, and it's just like, yeah.
Who is he?
What do you mean, who is he? He is clearly going to be my husband. You need to be getting this down now, Claire. That is Chris Evans, yeah.
He looks very different to how I've seen him before. He really does. Okay. Yeah, he'd look
Obviously,
good.
the haircut is what it was. That's clearly what's changed him.
And I think that we also need to go on to some celeb gossip as well.
You haven't shown my one.
Hold on.
Whose is Jax? Come on, we need to know who Jack's been perving at.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is the most beautiful man in the world.
Oh my God, let's hope I find the right one. Hold on.
I love so much. Who is that lovely picture that Sam sent on the group chat earlier?
Yes. So that's Ian Somerhalder from Vampire Diaries. He plays Damon in Vampire Diaries. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes.
He does have very nice eyes. I'll give you that.
He looks like he could be my son. Yeah, he really does. Okay. Can we have a Bradley Walsh? Oh, Bradley Walsh. Chris, is Bradley Walsh the one that does the quiz show things?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also does the RV trip with his son Barney. Absolutely fantastic. So funny that man is.
That is funny, yeah.
Can I also just say, Jack's going to give us a few celebrity stories in a moment. If you get a message from me, we have a new system and it is legitimate and it will be from me. Sammy has set everything up for me, so don't worry, we don't have any scammers. You are going to be getting messages because you will be able to be notified when we go live and of all the latest Claire Lengro and Lengro news. So basically, we're going forward with the age of Aquarius and now we're like all modern and tech. Oh, good.
If it makes you feel better, I received one earlier from Claire Petulengro. I was like, what is she sending me this message for?
Yeah.
And it was just, it was very professional.
Thank you.
Up until you started telling me it had no taste in men.
It was me, but it wasn't. Okay.
So just say Kelly Elizabeth agrees with me. She loves the Salvatore brothers as well. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, we need this celeb gossip. We need it in our lives.
Oh, so we were talking about Magic Mike earlier.
Another gorgeous man.
So the celebrities have been discovering some new things about themselves during the pandemic. And Channing Tatum has, he's got in touch with his feminine side, I think we could say, from looking at that picture. He said things got a bit weird for him during lockdown. He accidentally locked himself in his 7-year-old daughter's bedroom and found his inner child, and he found a little girl in him. And he ended up writing a little story, which has now become a book called The One and Only Sparkella, which he's written for his daughter. It's about the relationship between father and daughter and the importance of self-esteem and individuality. And he's brought some of his real life experiences to the book. And he said it's one of his favourite projects that he's ever done.
I just want to get arms like that. I mean, look at his arms.
I was going to say, if you do actually follow Channing Tatum on Instagram, his daughter also did his makeup for a photo shoot they did to Sparkella. And yeah, I mean, the kid's got skills, we'll put it that way. It's clearly.
But is he enjoying it a bit too much, do we think, Sam?
No, it looked more like he was getting stabbed in the eye by a makeup brush. I don't really think he was enjoying that part of it.
I think when you have arms like that, you can wear whatever you want and do whatever you want, really. And now listen, I've got a very important job here. Hold on. I need to find my next picture. Just oh dear. Oh, here we go.
Oh yes, so here's another man who's a bit in touch with his feminine side, Jamie Dornan. He stars in a
bikini body.
Yeah. So he's in a movie called Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, and it's a comedy from the writers of Bridesmaids with Kirsten Wiig in it as well. But he's appeared in a music video for the movie, which you can find on YouTube if you would like to watch. And in the video, he is at the beach, he's singing. Have we got his beach picture?
Yes,
was that not his beach picture? Because he has on a very nice bikini there. Just saying.
Yeah, but he's on the beach pouring his heart out after coming to a crossroads in his life, and he feels like he's a frustrated man, and he goes on to sing to a seagull, asking, "Am I in heaven or am I in hell?" He also spins like a baby ballerina in the sand and disappears in the sand, and then he climbs up the nearby palm tree. So
I'm sorry, he's a really nice guy, but that is not the best picture of him.
No. But the thing is, the whole film is a bit wacky, and he's actually said it's just so silly, but it makes sense in this whole world of silliness that we find ourselves in. And the film does look very, very silly, I must admit, but it's actually got really good reviews. It's on Sky Store, and I'm really tempted to watch. I saw some clips, and it just looks ridiculous. And him singing is even more ridiculous, especially when he's twirling like a ballerina and just disappears in the sand. But I'm really tempted to watch it now because the reviews are so good.
The fact that we've got Mark in a nice mood today. Mark, do you know what? My job is done if I've made you smile tonight. I love having you on our lives, live every single night, apart from Fridays and Sunday, guys. Now live 5 nights a week, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. Okay, next one. Let's have a little look. I'm doing so well, I don't want to mess it up.
Right, so this is Brad and Angelina's son, John Doley Pitt. But you might remember this was their first biological child, who was actually a girl called Shiloh.
Yeah. Okay,
so Shiloh Pitt. So when she was young, they saw her leaning towards masculine tastes, like in her dress and the activities she took part in. And in 2008, Brad told Oprah in an interview that Shiloh wants to be called John, after John in Peter Pan. And then in 2010, Angelina spoke out about masculine styles and how she loves dressing in tracksuits, and they actually let her cut her hair short, and they were very supportive, and she wanted to dress like a boy, so they let her. Angelina faced loads and loads of criticism from people about it, but she said it was surprising but interesting to see how her daughter was going to turn out. And they were really, really supportive. And so she changed into John. But now, during the pandemic, she's just been seen out with her mum, or his mum, and he's now started dressing like a girl again. He's grown his hair long. He's 14 now. So at 12, he turned into a boy, and now he wants to be a girl. So that's what's better. But I don't know. What would you say if that was your child?
Well,
they just finding themselves.
Yeah, and I think I've had an awful lot of clients. Yeah, I've had an awful lot of clients whose children or who themselves have gone through a journey. And you know what? Whoever you feel you are inside, you have to embrace that. And I think the problem that we've got now is social media, let alone us being on a live here, we might be open to criticism. This child was born, or was actually that. So this is their own biological child. This child was born into a family of superstardom anyway. So what chance did this child have? And you know what? The bravery it would take to change to a different sex, but then to change back again. What a super incredible, strong person that is. It really, really
and what incredible parents to support her and, let her find herself.
Yeah, I love that. Look, Mark, I've been laughing, got a big smile. Thank you, ladies. Awesome. Maybe I'm now finding my feminine side. So that's
You can find all sorts of things here, I tell you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one. We're running over time, but I've still got 3 more to do. So let's go for this. There we go.
Okay, so
Will Smith.
Will Smith, poor old Will Smith. Look at him. So he admits to being in the worst shape of his life. He says he's spent countless days grazing through the pantry, but he loves his body. He said it's carried him through the pandemic, but now he's going to be saying no to the midnight muffins and start getting back into shape. But what's interesting is we're looking at that now. Sam, you've just said he's still hot, and we just think, oh, look at Will Smith. Now, if that was a woman, if that was J-Lo, you know, we know she's beautiful and fit. If she was there, letting it all hang out, you know, showing her cellulite and her fat belly, would we be saying the same thing? Would we be saying, oh, look at her? Or would we be saying, oh my God, look at the state of her?
I think this is.
I would take any one of J-Lo's fat days, all right? Because like that woman, I swear I forgot about much fat in my little finger as she has got in the whole of her body.
But the thing is, it's a different rule for women, isn't it? And men. It's a different.
Yeah. It's double standards. It is.
I think the problem is here, you're talking about Will Smith, and I don't care what Will Smith's body looks like. That man's face, the expression, the humor. Did you know that I have a really good friend in business who works for one of the newspapers where I supply my daily columns to? And she walked into Boots in like the outside of London. And when she walked into Boots, Will Smith was there in a Boots uniform serving people for a laugh.
Yeah, I read about that.
He said to him, oh my goodness, my son loves you. So Will Smith got her phone and recorded a whole video just for her son, doing this whole talk to his son. He became the most popular boy in school, and he's a guy that takes time out. You know, he's done his training on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So actually with Will Smith, it's his whole character. And do you know what? We grow into the person, or we end up looking like the person that we are inside, don't we? And forget the body, people's faces. You see people that get older that look bitter. You see people that look loving and kind. And I don't look at a body with Will Smith. And also, Will Smith is somebody that could lose it, that could gain it, or whatever. And I don't think it matters. And do you know what? I've been fat, I've been thin, and I'll probably be all of those again. And I think that it's about how you are inside, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 100% it doesn't change the person inside. And I completely agree with everything you just said about Will Smith. It's the same as Denzel Washington. That man, obviously, you know, who would say no to Denzel? You know, he's very, very much in love with his wife, which obviously does help as well. You know, I'm sure many people have offered it to him on a plate and he said no. But that man is always gorgeous because he's a lovely person on the inside and out.
Yeah, I must admit, I do feel that in the newspaper industry I've worked in, I feel that the whole airbrushing thing is wrong. I feel the fact that, you know, children have to feel that they need to look a certain way. None of us look like the magazines. I don't even care if you are J-Lo. And when J-Lo had her twins, I was really admiring of her because she had put on weight. She had all the big belly like we have when we've had babies, and she showed it on camera. And I think that's really, really good. Interestingly enough, Mark says, Keanu Reeves is such a lovely person. He sat with a tramp all day to raise money. And I don't know if you've read, Mark, or any of you out there, but Keanu Reeves' personal life is one of the saddest stories that you could read about what happened to him personally with his fiance and their baby and lots of things. And Keanu Reeves, absolutely. Okay, so Robert Pattinson we've done, and I think the last one to do, Jack, as well. Let's have a little look.
Oh, we've got another one. We've done them all.
No, I'm lying. But let's just have one more look at hold on.
At the tree. I see.
I think that's a classic picture. I think
it is
absolutely great, and I think
it's wrong that I still wouldn't say no. I think it might be wrong that I still wouldn't say no, even if he was dressed up like that. I think I might have a problem.
Sam, put him down.
He has one child. It's fine.
He's married.
No, he's divorced.
Oh, is he? Okay, that's fine. I think it's good that celebrities are showing them putting it on weight, as children nowadays are body conscious if they're over a certain size. Honey, what do you think about the media I'll be with you in just a moment for whatever you go on. Then everybody wants to know what's happening.
I'm trying to sit in my room,
Yes.
and the neighbours are playing really loud music. I'm not even joking.
But it's a Saturday night.
I don't care if it's a fucking
Okay.
Jesus night. I'm really angry.
I can
If
see
it's a Jesus night, is that a Sunday night by any chance?
Well, it's clearly not Jesus night. I think maybe we'll have a cup of tea and a biscuit after this and talk about it as well. Don't you think? Okay, so let's
Just
have a
sing
little.
along to it, honey. Just sing louder. It'll be fine.
Rap songs are the
It's
N
rap
word and the
songs.
bad word.
Oh, rap songs with bad words. Okay. Let's just have a look. Lydia, let's just end with Lydia. I hate my body and I'm trying to make me love me
Everyone's beautiful.
because my mother. Thank you, honey. As we finish the show, because then I can come and be with you. Could you just come and say that, please? Come and say that, and then we can end the show.
I can say it.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Yeah, I want you to just say that for us to end the show and just say hello to everybody. Hold on. Right, honey.
Everyone is beautiful.
Right, so why is everyone beautiful?
What do you mean why?
So go on, explain that further. Something you just said to me over there.
Everyone's beautiful.
Everyone is beautiful. Well, they are, aren't they? And does it matter what you look like?
No.
No. Thank you. Honey just said, well, come and say goodbye quickly on here, and then we can sort of say hello to everyone. Oh, that's
Bye,
good.
honey.
Bye, honey.
One second.
Bye.
So you think that everyone is
Bye.
beautiful, do you?
Mhm.
Yeah, you just don't like rap music with swear words. Is that really the thing? Really? Okay. Honey's being brought
Being
up.
age appropriate is what honey is doing. That's
Yeah,
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
yeah. But indeed, you know that beauty comes from within, doesn't it? It does. Okay, I think it's time for me to go be a mum, yeah? And for us to go have a cup of tea and a biscuit, do you?
Yeah.
But we've got tomorrow
We
off.
need to fix our TV because our volume isn't working.
I know, our volume broke on our TV. We don't know
Thank
quite
you.
why. And do you want to say hello to anybody?
Comments.
Do you want to say hello to anybody there? Yeah?
Hi.
Maybe one night.
Stop trying to embarrass her, Claire. Come
I know,
on, look.
I know.
But you've got a fan here already, honey. Lydia's saying your daughter is so inspiring.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Sharon's saying, "Oh, you're amazing, honeybee." So
And Kelly Elizabeth says she's precious and very right.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're more an Ariana Grande fan, aren't you? But you know what? We will fix the volume on here because all I've done is press a mute button on one of the many new controls that we've got. We can watch a movie, we can listen to MTV, we can do Ariana Grande all night and have a late night because tomorrow's Sunday.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I'm going to go spend a night with my daughter. I've had an absolutely amazing evening and I hope that you've enjoyed your time with the Lengro crew. But in the meantime, yeah, like I said, I'm going to go be mummy. And I think we're going to go look at some more pictures of Channing Tatum, aren't you, Sam?
Yeah, just any gorgeous man, in the name of science, obviously.
Obviously.
Absolutely, in the name of science. So let me just find our outro video. And can I just say, thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.